What's going on, everyone? So, per reports that have recently came out, the Utah Jazz are interested in Jalen Hood Schifino. Now, I don't think this is a coincidence, right? I did the whole video on the D'Angelo Russell package, which doesn't make sense to me. Right? One, if you actually read the article, it sounds like it was made before the Jalen Hood Schifino update, where the Lakers opted to not extend or pick up his option. And on top of that, it makes no sense for Utah to take on $15 million in salary just out of the kindness of their hearts for the Lakers, right? And it doesn't really make sense for the Lakers. Yes, they would get under the first apron, but they're still not want to go get to the second apron. So, because the Lakers themselves have said that that's where they want a hard cap. So, yes, you'd get under the first apron, so you don't have the restrictions of, being an apron team. But if you're not going to utilize those, then why does it matter, right? Like, you can just do that in the offseason. And LeBron James can fluctuate his contract to whatever need be to have you give the flexibility to get guys if you actually get guys, right? LeBron was willing to do it this past offseason, but the Lakers weren't able to get anybody. That's the difference. So it didn't make sense. The D'Lo part of it made zero sense unless you're getting like a Colin Sexton or something like that. Then sure, right? Because Sexton's got another year on his contract, right? So it would give a team like the Utah Jazz a little more financial flexibility. Jalen Hood Schifino expires, so they can kind of do the THT thing where they kind of see, engage, how does it look for a year or so, and then or I guess it'd be like half a year probably, but you get my point, right? Kind of gauge and see how does Jalen Schifino look, and then if you want to keep him, you can keep him, give him a new contract. If you don't, then you just let him walk and again, continue to get flexibility. So it makes sense if the Lakers were taking on another piece. I've seen people throw out, Jordan Clarkson. I personally am not big on Jordan Clarkson, but again, that would be something that would make sense again. Right, because Jordan Clarkson got multiple years still on his deal, $14 million, right? So, hey, we'll take that on. If you take D'Lo, clear $4 million off the books, and now the Lakers have some flexibility, right? Like, again, I can see if it makes sense for both sides, but the D'Lo part of it just didn't make sense for both sides. Jalen Hood Schifino now, that makes sense for both sides, because now, one, you're just clean swap, right? Jalen Hood Schifino for Walker Kessler, and then you're adding whatever assets you need to add to that deal. But top of that, it gives Utah the flexibility if it wants, right? Because Walker Kessler is going to be needing a new contract in another year or so, right? So now Jalen Schifino, you're not going to pay him anywhere close to what Walker Kessler is. So you could even give Jalen Schifino like a 2-year, $5 million deal or something like that, right? Like do something along those lines rather than like the option that would have been 4.4, or you could just let him walk and clear $3 million plus whatever else you want to work out, right? My guess, it's just my guess, I don't know this for certain, but my guess is that if the Lakers do land Walker Kessler, it's more than just Kessler. Right? I think it'll be Kessler and either Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson. Just because I think that makes the most sense for Utah. You might as well get as much flexibility as possible because Lauri Markkanen's going to be a max going forward, right? So it would make sense to hey, we're the worst team in the league in basketball right now. It's another kind of tank year. And then we need to start at some point stacking assets this year, right? So unload everything we can, clear off as much salary as we can. Now we have a bunch of salary. Now we have a bunch of picks. Now we got maybe even the number 1 pick in this year's draft, right? Now you go get, you got Lauri Markkanen getting his contract. Boom, everything works out. Everything's perfect. Sunshines and rainbows, right? Like that I could see Utah doing something like that. So I do think it makes sense. And I even said after the Jalen Hood Schifino option decline that I believe something is in the works because it just makes sense. Like Walker Kessler makes more sense now. Because I could see a team like Utah going, hey, don't pick up his option, right? We're in the midst of working and negotiating because based on the reports, the Lakers and the Jazz have had ongoing conversations. They're regularly talking about different scenarios. So I could see Utah going hey, if Jalen Hood Schifino is going to be part of this package, do not pick up his player option because we don't want to have to pay him $4.4 million. He's not worth $4.4 million right now. If we do re-sign him, then we'd like to re-sign him for a smaller amount. So, and the Lakers look at it as okay, that makes sense for us because we're clearing off, that $4.4 million. We have some flexibility in the offseason. potentially open up our full mid-level exception. And on top of that, we can, if we want to keep him and keep him as a development guy, we can just sign him to a new deal of 2 years, $5 million instead of 1 year, 4.4, I think is what it is, right? So makes sense either way for the Lakers. But I do think as these conversations are going on, Lakers kind of are gauging, okay, what is Utah actually interested in? What does Utah potentially want? How can we get this worked out? I don't think it'll be a straight Walker Kessler for Jalen Hood Schifino swap. I mean, I would love it. I'm not against that, right? Like if you could turn, look at, I mean, I would do that every day, including Sunday. If you told me right now, we'll give you Walker Kessler. We want Jalen Hood Schifino. We want an unprotected first. We want you to remove the protection on the first we currently have. And then let's say a pick swap, right? That sounds like a lot for Walker Kessler, but I would do that all day, including Sunday. I would, without even a second thought, glance, anything, right? Just because, again, now you got your center for now that can make an impact and the future. Also, the Lakers bench is terrible. So you would be turning a non-productive player who's going to spend the year in the G League for a guy that can come in and could even start for you, right? If you wanted to, right? If you wanted to go kind of the bigger route. But even coming off the bench, that gives you that flexibility. And then when Christian Wood gets back, now you have Wood and Kessler as two guys that go get you double-digit scoring every night. And now that takes pressure off of Max Christie, Dalton Connect. Now they're not as reliant. Now they don't have to be the 6th and 7th guy. They get to be the 8th and 9th guy in that rotation. And now the pressure. So now when they have great games, you're probably winning all those. If they don't have great games, it's fine. You can kind of let them go through their hiccups a little more than you can afford right now, where Lakers are 30th in bench scoring. Right, they're only averaging 20 points per game off the bench, and that was the other day. Right, that was before the Cavs game that I checked that. So, or not the Cavs game. It was after the Cavs game that I checked that. But my point is that you would be getting bench production while getting rid of somebody that didn't. And he's a center that makes a ton of sense. He's one of the best rim protectors in the league this year. So alongside Anthony Davis, good luck scoring on the inside. But even when Anthony Davis goes to the bench or gets the night off, you don't just completely lose all your rim pressure. You don't just completely lose all of your protection. And Walker Kessler's shown a little bit of the ability to knock down the 3 ball. Not something I'd want him to do regularly right now, but for his progression, right? He's still a development guy. He's 23 years old and just turned 23. So there's still a lot of room for growth, potential, upside with him. He's your center for not only now, but the next 10, 15 years, right? Now you're locked in at the center spot. That's one less position that even post LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you need to go find. And you have the next few years to really develop Walker Kessler. So that way, when LeBron James rides off into the sunset, boom, Anthony Davis just shifts to the 4. Walker Kessler comes in at the 5. Now you got your 2 bigs at the 4 and 5, and then kind of round out whatever else you need, right? Maybe Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves or whatever else, right? And then maybe you're going and getting another star. Or maybe that point somebody else kind of becomes a star. We'll see how guys like a Walker Kessler would develop, a Max Christie, a Dalton Connect, right? How do some of these young guys develop? Or again, when LeBron rides off into the sunset, I could see stars going hey, I'd love to go to the Lakers. And it's not because of LeBron. I see that a narrative where people are oh, well, no one wants to play with LeBron. No, it's just one, does it make sense for the Lakers? Does it make sense alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis? And 2, how many stars are rushing to the Lakers to go be the 3rd guy, right? Because that's what you would be. Anthony Davis, LeBron James are your 1 and 2. I don't care who it is. He's your 3rd guy, right? Because LeBron James is just that kind of gravity, right? So that's what it is. But once LeBron's off the team, I could see another star going, okay, me and Anthony Davis, got Walker Kessler, right? Our interior defense is great. Man, we got, Dalton Connect, Austin Reeves, Max Christie. I step in, we're a contender again. We're winning some championships here. You can kind of see maybe a star or several being interested in that regard. But nonetheless, this is great news that Jalen Hood Schifino at least has interest in Utah. I don't think that that's a coincidence, right? Again, you have a bunch of little breadcrumbs that are all leading to the end goal, which is Walker Kessler being a Laker. Now, we have seen this play out before for the Lakers, so I don't think it's a lock that he's a Laker, but this is a really good sign that you keep getting these reports from, non-biased sources as well as, Utah's side, Lakers side, right? You're getting it from everybody. It's not just all Laker insiders going like, Lakers are going to get Walker Kessler. No, it's like Utah, just neutral reports, and then also Lakers side. So that's good when it's, because you always want to look, where are these reports coming from? If they're all coming from the Lakers side, then chances are a deal is not even, they're probably not even negotiated. Like, they're just hoping that something develops, right? But when you hear it from all sides, it's like, okay, clearly there's something there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But I'm excited. Hopefully it gets done. We can really use Walker Kessler. The beauty of Walker Kessler also is that it doesn't change your flexibility to make other moves, right? Because he's so cheap, you can still trade a D'Lo, Jared Vanderbilt if you need to, a Max Christie, Gabe Vincent, a Rui Hachimura. Everybody that you want, all your big salary guys, you can still trade and unload to go bring in another piece or two. But also getting Walker Kessler, I think, would really take some pressure off of the Lakers, because now you don't have that urgency to go make a move. Right now you got to take, okay, we got the center, we got arguably the biggest need, while not disrupting what we have. Let's see what it looks like with Walker Kessler added to this group, and then kind of out, okay, we still really need a point of attack. Let's go maybe look at it like a Bruce Brown. Okay, we really need a wing guy. Let's go look at a Cam Johnson, right? Now you start stacking the pieces. Now Lakers can get back into contention. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think this is great news? Do you think it's like, I'll wait and see? Bit skeptical. I get it. But however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.